Welcome back, trainers. So we're going to be taking a look at some Jungle Cup battles going up against my friend Dark here. Now, keep in mind, these are just test runs. I'm not going in here with the top meta quite yet. We're just seeing how things work out. And as you can see, this matchup in the beginning is not too favorable for me whatsoever. But I'm going to tell you this right off the bat. What have I noticed that is excelling and doing well so far in this cup? That's going to be Alolan Graveler. The thing is absolutely amazing. Obviously, Vigoroth as well. Venusaur is holding up quite nicely too, and Noctile is doing its job as a flyer as well. So if you're wondering which ones you should start investing in and looking into something kind of cheap at the moment, I'm going to recommend the Alolan Graveler. The thing is absolutely nasty with that Smackdown, Rock Blast, as well as the Thunderbolt. It's not doing as good as the other charge move that the Alolan Golem does have, but you know, the Smackdown is holding up quite nice, as well as the Rock Blast. Thunderbolt's doing okay. All right, so I'm not going to do full commentary quite yet. I'm just going to give you my thoughts on the situation here. So if I had to pick some other type of Pokemon, Breloom with Dynamic Punch and Counter and Sludge Bomb is also looking pretty okay. I did post on my Twitter about Manectric being a kind of a sneaky pick. Obviously, it's not going to be your top meta, and I got a lot of responses saying it's not too good, you don't really want to invest in this. Well, I mean, sure, yes, if you don't have enough Stardust, then you probably want to stick to the top meta Pokemon and just invest in the best of the best. But for me, I like to go outside of the boundaries, outside of the box, take a look at some other Pokemon that could potentially be okay for this cup. And one of the reasons why I was actually focusing on Manectric is because it does have Flame Burst, which can do quite a bit of work going up against, say, a Magnezone or another Grass-type Pokemon, in which they would initially be resisting your electric moves. So that is the reason why I decided to tweet that out and say you may want to give this a shot here. So yes, I did invest quite a bit, as well as purchasing that secondary move finally on that Vigoroth this morning. It's just going to be well worth it. It's already a monster with Counter and Body Slam, and giving it a bit of coverage with that ground type charge move should help it out. Say if it was going up against something that was not very effective too, it would be looking pretty nice here. So taking a look at this battle, I did start it off with the Lantern. He's going in there with the Magneton, and that is going to be full Legacy, Discharge, and Thunder Shock. All right, so he does have quite a bit of Legacy moves on his Pokemon. That's why I love battling him. It gives me the experience for the actual battlefield in case somebody does have those. So he's going to be shielding that up here. And like I said, these are just test runs, right? The team compositions may not be the best, but this is literally probably my 7th battle that I had, because I did tweet out initially on Twitter to send me some of those great battles with everybody. Thank you very much. I will be actually uploading content in which I request battles on Twitter. I didn't want to do it right away because that was our first battles, and I didn't want people to get upset or something like that I uploaded our first battles and they didn't do so well or something. But from here on out, I will assume if you do send me a battle after I do make those tweets, that you will be okay with me uploading those. All right, so Alolan Graveler all done, as you can see there. And now the Vigoroth, I'm just going to simply be purchasing the secondary move here. And the Noctowl is performing quite nice. It does need to look out for those electric types, as well as the Alolan Golem family with that Smackdown. It's just going to be doing so much damage. This cup is very crucial on using shields and specific typings. It's not really like the Rainbow Cup, in which some Pokemon can last a decent amount of time in the fight and they're kind of dragged on. These ones go a little bit quicker, I believe, and any sort of mistake is going to leave you in the dust big time. All right, so now let's go ahead and focus our attention onto the battles fully here. So we have just waiting to make my decision. I should probably go in there with that Lantern there, doing super effective. I knew he was going to switch, so that's why I was hesitating and seeing what I should possibly do. That Magneton is almost down, but it's going to be able to finish me off. I have no more shields and very little health. Down goes his Magneton. He does have a shield on his hand. Now in comes my Sceptile. This is going to be a decent situation if I was able to get to my charge move fast enough, but that Sceptile just can't really take a hit. Definitely going to want to pick Venusaur over this. And Venusaur is another solid option because it's going to be part poison, so that Vigoroth, its counter is not going to be doing too much damage. But on the other hand, you're going to have to definitely look out for those flying type Pokemon but the Venusaur can also resist electric moves, so that is something to take note of. Alright, now starting it off with the Vigoroth, I do not have my secondary move purchased in any of these battles yet. I just did that earlier today. These battles were taking place yesterday. So going up against the Beedrill here, Counter is not going to be doing much whatsoever because he's going to be part flying as well as poison. Both of those types are going to be resisting, but as you can see, the Body Slam absolutely devastates that Beedrill there. And if you're wondering, which move do you want? Do you want Bug Bite, Legacy, or Poison Jab on your Beedrill? Well, if you have the Legacy Bug Bite, that could show some good potential, seeing that there's going to be a lot of grass roaming around, but then Poison Jab is also super effective to grass, so the choice is yours. Kind of just play with it and see how they work. I do have both, so I'll be bringing you probably more content in the future. We're still in the month of the Rainbow Cup, so yeah, we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, but this is what we do over here, giving you that early preparation and practice, so going into the next month, you're going to be ready right off the bat. So he does bring in his Alolan Graveler here. I do have my Venusaur. It's a pretty good situation for me. Let's go ahead and shield up this because I do not want to go down quite yet. Able to get to that Frenzy Plant quite quick. So I'm pretty confident here. Gaining a little bit more energy. I wasn't going to wait because I knew he was going to be able to get to that Rock Blast again, but we're safe now. So we have quite a bit of energy stored up for the next Pokemon that does come in. Granted, I don't faint right away. Let's see what it's going to be here. He's just waiting out that switch clock. And then we're just going to possibly hit up that Frenzy Plant right off the bat. All right, so I didn't even see what it was. Not necessarily the best situation, but since it's almost down, I might as well go for it. And it was a good idea in this case. It took down that Beedrill. In comes Meganium here. All right, so that could also be another good option for you. So we're looking great. We do have the Noctowl and another Vigoroth in the back here. So we're absolutely going to probably win this. So I did go in with the Vigoroth because it did have a little bit of energy gain. I wanted to get to that Frenzy Plant and take out my Vigoroth, therefore going in with the Noctowl and making it completely safe instead of getting hit back to back like this at full health here. So he does hit me up with Frenzy Plant, not very effective. And of course, we're just going to go ahead and hit up that Sky Attack. And I do have extra sensory for my quick move on the Noctowl. Did pick this up yesterday from a friend, so shout out to you. Same guy who's going to be hooking me up with my Legacy Nidoking, so that's going to be pretty nice as well. All right, going into the next match, let's see what we have going on here. And I'm going to be starting it off with the Magnezone. Now, this is something to take note of. I was really happy this happened, so you can get a good idea on how this match goes. So I have the Magnezone. He has the Legacy Magneton. So what's going to actually happen here? Am I going to be able to take it out? I'm not going to shield this up here. In comes Magnet Bomb. All right, doing a decent amount of damage. But then here comes my Wild Charge. And that Magneton being so squishy, check out what happens. Almost takes him out. All right, so if you do have this matchup, the Magnezone will be able to dominate that Magneton in this case here. So just something to take note of. Oh yeah, and it's also shiny, so even better. So we're able to finish it off with quick moves, and we do have a Wild Charge for whatever comes in next. We both do have 2 shields, so just going to see for what he's going to bring in. In comes the Venusaur. We're going to be switching, holding onto that energy, bringing in Pidgeot. And I knew at this point he was going to counter me. And you're going to probably want the Legacy on your Pidgeot for the quick move. Unfortunately, I do not have that. I just wanted to test it out. In comes the Alolan Graveler, absolutely devastating me. I thought I'd go for Hurricane to get as much damage as possible. I figured he wasn't going to get off a charge because he wanted to save all that energy for the next Pokemon, in which case that is what you exactly want to do. Now, I could go in here with Venusaur and we'll be looking great. I'm not too sure what the decision is quite yet, what I was going to do. Okay, go in there with the Venusaur. I do decide to let this go through. Not doing so much damage. We can take a couple of those, but with the rock throws in between, you're going to be ending up only able to take about 2 of those rock blasts. So I'm going to go ahead and shield this up at this point. And I don't remember if I decided to just farm energy or just go for the immediate kill here. Definitely better to farm energy. Good on that. Perfect. And then I'm just going to hit up Frenzy Plant immediately when that Venusaur comes in. It did not know what he had behind the end. And we're just going to go down now at this point. Or not. Or not. We're shielding up. I thought I was able to get to Sludge Bomb. Let's see what I'm able to do here. But seeing that's his last Pokemon, I mean, you want to preserve the health as much as possible. So it's obvious he's going to be shielding up that last one there. So he did gain quite a bit of energy, but the good thing for me is he used his charge right when I did, so we don't have to worry about our next Pokemon going down here. So in comes the Magnezone. I will be hitting up that Wild Charge immediately and almost taking him out. So I had enough energy to get off a charge, but at this point I thought he had another Pokemon, so we end up double KOing and I did not get off my Wild Charge, so that's going to be a good game. Alright trainers, and before we take off, I told myself I wasn't going to do this anymore, and that's showing all of my current Cup Pokemon that I have for training, but seeing all the reactions in Chicago and how much you guys appreciate these videos, I'm just going to go ahead and show you what I have working with here. Now this is not everything, and I do have a lot of other Pokemon I could add to the list. These are just ones that I pick ready to go for battles when people send me for this Jungle Cup, and then things I want to test out. Now the Heracross probably shouldn't be showing all this stuff because I'm kind of giving away. I do not have a secondary move purchased. I don't feel like really putting 50 rare candies and spending $50,000, 50,000 Stardust on a Heracross currently. I did put in a little bit of rare candies, bringing it up to 1476. I'll give that a test later. If you're wondering why do I have Persian picked up here, because it's Persian and finally it can actually participate. Is it going to be good for this cup? No, not really, but it's still an option that I can use, and I still want to test it out. Now Yanmega, is that going to be something, you know, specifically kind of good? Not really, guys, but yet again another one of my favorite Pokemon that I actually want to give a test and see how well it does perform. So the Vigoroth, I did, like I said, purchase that secondary move. I do have the two Beedrills. Not too sure why the other one I did not mark it up here. The Noctowl is going to have that extrasensory Nightshade and Sky Attack. So it's looking pretty good here. And if you're using Sceptile, you're probably going to want to have Leaf Blade instead of Frenzy Plant. Maybe, depending on the situations. I do want to give a Vespiquen a try. Like I said, I still do not have one of those, so I still need to make one. See what happens with that. Ninjax, Fury Cutter, and Shadow Ball. It's going to be 75,000 Stardust for a secondary move and 75 candies. Pretty steep. Seeing that I just purchased that second move for Vigoroth costing 75,000 Stardust, I'm probably not going to invest in it. Now, Cradily, how has that been performing? Actually, behind the scene battles, guys, it's looking pretty good. It's decent. It's not like, oh my gosh, you know, guys, you have to put this on your team every single time. The thing is an absolute monster. But with Infestation and Stone Edge just being simply low energy, high damage, and Infestation is going to grant you a ton of energy to get to there fast. Plus, you're going to be getting Stab. It works great. It does good amount of damage to things that even resist it. Grass Knot, you're going to be getting Stab as well. And it's just looking fantastic on that end. Infestation will be able to do super effective to those pure grass types. So Cradily, I'm so happy that it's actually able to come in and perform okay and actually have a spot in the meta to some degree. At least it's ranked above 20. So very happy about that. Not going to power up my shiny one. I thought about it and purchased secondary move. It's going to be 50,000 Stardust as well as the power-ups. I already have one ready to go. As much as I would love to use all these shiny different Pokemon and have doubles of a regular and then a shiny variants, it's just kind of a waste of Stardust at the end of the day if you had one made already. Okay, if you want to make your shiny team, go for it. But personally for me, I'm starting to invest in doubles, the shinies, the non-shinies, and it's starting to cost a lot, in which I could invest in other things that I could use potentially. So there you have it, trainers. But anyways, thank you for watching, trainers. And with that said, hope you enjoyed this video. Please give this video a big thumbs up, and I will be catching you all next time. Take care.